Okay, in today's session we are going to discuss how to create a new application setup. So if you want to start a new project means, so first thing is, so we need to start with the application setup. Okay, and this application setup we can create only from the default user ID, because see, when you install the software in your applications, in your systems, so by default you will not get any other operator IDs. Okay, so we have to log in using administrator@pega.com and install is the password. Okay, so once after logging to the application using the ID, so we can generate the application setup from the application menu. From application menu we can start building the new application. Okay, so we'll see the steps today. Yesterday I told you, so if you want to start if you want to log into the Pega PRP's application means, we need to start the server. Okay, so already server is started in my system. So once server is started, we can click on the login icon from the desktop. It will open this page and log into the application by giving the username and password. And I told that if you want to create this application setup from application menu, we will be using DCO tool, and inside that we will have application express. So first of all I will go to the tool, then I will explain the steps. Okay, what are all the steps we have inside that, then I will explain them. So before that, see, once we log into the application, so go to application menu. So from here you will get a option called new application. So I will give the steps for this, and also you get the recording for this, no need to note down any steps. So go to application menu, new application, and then you will have an option called create new application. Okay, then it will go to this DCO tool, and then so it will open the application express. Okay, these are the steps for application setup. So once we go to this application express tool, so we need to enter some information. Okay, so there are 4 steps will be there. So we have to fill the 4 steps, and all are not mandatory, so I will tell you. So we have application settings tab, so then business objectives, case types, and data objects. We have 4 steps will be there. Application settings, business objectives, cases or case types, and data objects. So these 4 steps we have to fill, and then we have to generate application. So automatically Pega will configure an application setup in the backend. So we will see the procedure now. Okay, inside the tool we log in using a default operator ID. Now this is application menu. So from here we have under this we have a sub menu called new application. Click on this. Okay, it will open a widget, or we can call it as a internal tool, that is DCO. We can also call it as direct capture of objectives, means capturing all the business objectives in the application. Okay, so this is a widget for generating a new application setup. Okay, what are the things we can do using this is, so we can directly capture objectives and turn them into executable software, execute the right process for your customers and business every time, automate and manage all the work that we are working on that we do in the application. Means, so automatically, say generally it will create a setup for you, and it will generate some portals, and inside the portals we can automatically So develop an application and customize the applications. Okay, so by clicking on this, start building the new application. Now click on this option, create new application. So when you click on this button, now it will go to application express tool. Okay, the name you cannot see anywhere, but it is called as a application express tool. When you click on this create new application button, then now it will navigate to application express tool. Okay, so this is application express tool. So we have 4 steps will be there: step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4. So according to the requirement, so what are the mandatory options we have, we need to fill them in the all these settings. Okay, we'll have a, before adding all these options, we'll have a small overview about this DCO and application express. Okay, so DCO is just a name of the tool. Inside that we'll have this application express. So what is the purpose of this means, so application express allows you to quickly create an application by filling out fields in a series of 4 screens. Okay, there will be 4 steps or 4 screens will be there. So we need to fill all the options, and automatically Pega will generate the application. And the tool generates an initial layer enterprise class structure, and means in the backend when you submit the data in these 4 screens, so automatically it will create different types of layers. Okay, so these layers are nothing but classes in Pega. Okay, that is nothing but class structure also we can call here. About these classes and class structure I'll tell you after this. And also it will create rule sets in the application. Yesterday I told you, see, generally once after creating an application setup, Pega will create some workspace for you. Okay, that's workspace is nothing, it is also called as rule sets in Pega. Okay, or simply called as rule set. Automatically Pega will generate multiple rule sets. So in that, so what are the name of the application we give, so with that name Pega will configure the main rule set name. Okay, so this one also I'll show once after the setup is done. Means, so as part of the application generation setup process, Pega will configure classes in the backend, and it will generate the rule set in the backend. Okay, and based on the input values we provide and the default values entered by the system, so you can use this tool to create new organization level class layer in which you can build rules for enterprise wide and reuse them in the application. Means, say, as part of the inputs given in this application express tool, so automatically this Pega PRPC tool only will generate classes in the backend. And also, so inside that class structure we can generate or we can configure new rules and we can reuse them in the applications. Okay, so this setup and all, so the class setup and implementation layer setup and all, so automatically Pega will configure. So only thing is we need to give the inputs inside the tool. Okay, we need to give the name of the application, name of the organization. Okay, so all that input will do, automatically Pega will configure a so setup layer for you, class setup layer for you, and inside that we can build rules inside the application. Okay, and in order to create a new application using this application express tool, so how to go to this option is from application menu, so go to new application, so open the tool. So from the DCO we'll open the tool. Now we'll click on the create new application option, and it will open the screen and complete all the configuration in 4 steps. Okay, so the 4 steps we have is, first one is application settings, business objectives, case types and data objects. So application settings means, so we will enter the name of the application and name of the, so what is the application name and under which application this application is built, and organization name we need to enter. And business objectives, if you want, it's not mandatory. If you want to add any objectives, means what are the just description like thing, if you want to add, we can add. And case types, so these case types, if you want to import any existing modules or if you want to add a new modules in the application, we will add in the names of case, we will add a cases in the form of cases. Okay, we'll add some names, just we'll give the names of the cases, or if you want, we can import some existing modules from other applications also. Okay, so these cases are nothing but modules inside an application, and data objects are nothing but if you want to import any data tables or if you want to add new data tables inside the application, so we can add in the data objects. But these data objects will not create at application setup level. So directly once after getting application setup, so inside the new application we can configure manually. Okay, so from this step no need to add any data objects at this level. Okay, so in detail I'll tell the next steps. So first of all, give the information in the application settings tab. So here it will ask you to enter the name of the application. So okay, what are the application name you want to provide? So in this text box you can provide. So give any name for this application. And see here, built-on application is nothing but, see, currently we are under the application called Pega rules. So that is nothing but a built-on application. Okay, see, when you log in with the default operator ID, right? So in this default operator ID, the default application is Pega rules. Okay, the default application is Pega rules. So that is nothing but a, so we are building this new application setup inside Pega rules application. So built-on application is nothing but under which application we are creating this setup. So that is nothing but a built-on application. Okay, in this ID, in the administrator@pega.com user ID, Pega rules is a default application, and by default, so the same application name will get in the built-on application. Okay, so about this, if I want to more information, so in the application settings we'll have a option called application guide. So enter a name of your new application. It must start with a letter and use only letters, digits and ampersands and underscores and dash characters actually. So the naming convention for your application name will be, it must start with a letter and use, you can after the letter you can use digits or ampersands or any underscores and dash characters. So the name may contain spaces also. This text appears in the application forms as short description. Okay, you can enter any name with, so but starting with a letter, and later you can add digits, ampersand and underscores, and spaces also you can add. Okay, so choose a name that is unique in the entire PRPC system. Means, see if already with this, so what are the name I entered, right? See if already this name is there, means again with the same name we cannot create another application. Means presently, okay, in this server, for example, I'm having some other applications also, I'm having some 5 to 7 applications are there. Suppose if I want to give the same name to the new application, I cannot provide, because application name must be unique. Okay, presently in this server I'm having all these applications. Okay, again with the same name I cannot generate a new application, so we have to give a unique name for the application here. Okay, and the name is concentrated and used for the application records, key part, class layer actually. So what are the name we are providing right now? It plays a key role in the class structure name and the rule set name. Okay, because generally once we create a application setup, right, so it plays important, means it plays a key role in the class structure. I'll tell you about the class structure after this. And also it plays a key role in the rule set also, because once after the application setup, your rule set name also will be same name. Suppose I have given the application name as keen here, but then in the next, once after generating the application setup, so with the same name Pega will configure rule set also. So that's the reason. So what are the application name we are giving, so it plays a key role in the naming the rule set also. It will be same, automatically it will take. Okay, no need to add or define manually. So what are the name you are giving for the application name, so same name it will generate the rule set name also. And also inside the class structure configuration also the application name will be defined. So this what is the class structure and how it will be, I'll tell you in the after this topic. Okay, and the next thing is, Okay, like this about the naming, class layer, rule sets, and in the concatenated name access 8 characters. Okay, so if the name exceeds 8 characters, actually it will cut the name into short name. Suppose you are giving the name like with 8 characters, but in the class structure, when class structure is generated, right, so actually it will not take all the total name. It will truncate the name and divide into like 4 or 5 characters only it will take. Okay, that one I'll show in the when I generate the application, right, I can show. So generally if you give 8 characters, so or exceeds 8 characters, it will truncate the name in the application setup. Okay, means, so in the class structure it will take only the first 5 characters or first 8 characters only it will take. Okay, so if you give more than 8 characters, it will not take the total name. Okay, it will truncate your class name and it will create a short name for that one. Means it will take the starting 5 characters or starting 8 characters it will take. Okay, so that one I'll show in the once after the setup is done, I'll show you. And coming to the description, automatically it will take the same name in the description also. And we have some next setting called built on application. So built on application means, so under which application we are building this application, so it will automatically take that one. But in the, if you try to create a new application setup in the default ID, Pega rules and Pega DM are the default applications. Okay, you can choose Pega rules or Pega DM as the built on application here. Okay, because these two are the default applications in the default operator ID. Okay, so no need to select, automatically system only will take the default application name. And next thing is we have a option called application structure. See, inside the application structure we will be having 3 different layers will be there. Okay, under application structure we will have 3 different layers. One is framework and implementation, framework only and implementation only. Actually in the, for any new application setup, so by default in the application structure, so the default one will be framework and implementation only. And but we have 2 more options are there, that is framework only and implementation only. Okay, the difference between the 3 is, so generally we will opt for the, whenever we generate a new application we will opt only for framework and implementation, because so the purpose of this is to, in order to create both the implementation application and its implementation layer and a new framework application layer. Means the meaning of this is, if you want to modify, means the purpose of implementation is reusing purpose, and also framework, what the framework class will do is, so the same application it will be saved as a new framework. Suppose in the future same application if they want to reuse in their applications, so they can copy this and might, means they can upload the application and they can reuse in the other applications also. So implementation and framework, what purpose is, so it acts as a, where we can modify the application and also we can reuse in the other applications in the future. Okay, so in general, so what this both the layers purpose is, so if you create both the layers it will allow you to, so for the future growth means if you want to do any modifications to that, and also if you want to reuse in other applications, so it will be helpful. But if you select only framework means what happens means, see in Pega every application will be saved as a framework, separate framework. Okay, so when you generate a new application now using this option, by default this application also saved as a one framework which can be reused in upcoming applications. Okay, in the future a similar applications if you want to develop, and if you want to reuse the same application we can reuse in the upcoming applications. So that is the purpose of framework and implementation. But if you use only framework means we cannot modify, so just it will be saved as a framework application, because we can only create a framework only, we cannot implement any new things or any modifications we cannot do. And implementation only means to create only implementation layer and a class layer, so that is only modifications only we can do, it will not save as a framework. But generally in the real time, so we will opt for both these options. Any application when they generate in the any other applications, in any type of applications if you take, so all the applications will be created in the framework and implementation structure only. Okay, so even the options are given, we will never use this framework only and implementation only options. So maximum we will opt for framework and implementation only, and by default system also will take the application structure as framework and implementation. And framework provides a level reuse intent to consumed by multiple production applications. So these frameworks in the future, if you want to use in other applications, they can reuse. Okay, so that is the purpose of framework and implementation. And coming to organization, see generally here organization name, so we have to enter a different name from the application. See in the previous till 6.3 version, till the previous version 6.3, so generally application name and organization name will be same, but from 7.1 version, so application name and organization name we have to take a different name here. Okay, so because so this organization name will generate the operator ID name. So for example, anybody ask you what is the default organization ID or default operator ID means, we will tell you administrator@pega.com. So here in this operator ID name, pega.com is the organization name. Pega.com is the organization name. So now if you want to give any organization name here, you can give any name, like team.com you can give, like, or else I'm giving like, okay, give any different name. I'm giving myapp.com. okay, because so application name and organization name will be different. So when I give the organization name here, so based on the organization name only it will generate operator IDs. So if I give the organization name as myapp, so now with this name Pega is going to generate operator IDs like admin@myapp, manager@myapp, and user@myapp. okay, these three operator IDs it will generate. So based on this organization name whatever we give, so I'm giving the organization name as myapp. So with this name, so automatically it will generate these operator IDs. okay, in the organization name just enter the name. So maximum make it as a practice, first letter will be capital, you can use small letter also, but make it as a practice, like, so starting letter must be capital letter. okay, so if you want to know about the organization, so organization is the default is the organization specified in your user ID. So actually, so this keep it as a default and choose an organization name into the auto completed field. okay, maybe you'll get confused about this. So organization name is nothing but a name which will generate the operator IDs inside the application. So generally if you log into the system, so we will log in using administrator.pega. So you must be create an organization. If you want to create a new operator ID, if you want to generate a new operator ID in your application, so we cannot give the same ID. So instead of pega.com, we have to give our own name, and with that name Pega will automatically configure the operator IDs inside the application, and automatically it will configure. We have something called configure advanced settings. okay, actually there is no need to configure manually, automatically Pega will configure automatic settings and advanced settings. Just if you click on this, I'll show you some other options, but we will not change anything here. So just it will show the some advanced configuration. So what is the name of the application and what is the version and all it will select. So methodology, and then built on application is nothing but we are building inside the Pega rules, and inside the structure, framework and implementation we are building this application. And under the organization settings, so we have something called organization, division and unit. okay, 3 levels will be there. So based on the organization name it will configure all the other things also. And class structure, so as part of this application settings process, so in the backend Pega will configure a class structure, I will tell you. So we can also call it as work pool also. So automatically Pega will configure this organization layer, application layer and class group layer. Okay, there will be again three types of class groups will be there: work class, data class, integration class. So that one also I'll explain after this. Okay, so these all things, there is no need to change anything or modify anything. Automatically Pega will only configure all these things. Okay, just we need to save that one. No need to change anything inside the advanced configuration settings. Automatically Pega will take care of all those things. So only thing is, in the application settings we will give the name of the application, and the default things will be there. Built-on application is by default, application structure is by default. Only thing is, we will enter the application name and organization name. Now click on next option, and next step is business objectives. Suppose if you want to enter any objectives inside the application, you can define here. Okay, so just it's not mandatory. If you want, we can enter. In the real time, this thing will be done by the business analyst. Actually, this application setup and all, in the real time it will not be done by the developers. It will be done by the business analyst or some lead system architect will take care of this. Okay, so but you must have compulsory knowledge on this DCO, because it will be useful for the interviews and certifications. Okay, because in certifications you'll get some 2 or 3 questions on this topic. So compulsory you must have knowledge on this application setup. So once after the business objectives, if you click on next option, then the next step is case types. So these case types represents the modules, like units of work inside the application. Means, so if a big application is there, if you want, so entire thing you will not developing a same layer. Okay, we will divide the application into different modules. Okay, suppose if you take a banking application, so we'll divide the banking into different domains or different modules. Like loans is one module, debit card, credit card, insurance. Okay, like this we'll divide the total application, entire application into different modules here. So those modules will differ in the form of case types. Okay, or we can call it as cases in the application. What are all the modules in the application are called cases inside the application. Actually this thing is new concept is included in the latest version. In the previous version it is called as directly we'll give the class names. Okay, but here in the 7th version we used to give in the form of cases. Okay, I'm giving some names. Okay, I'm giving 3 different models in this application, so which covers all the scenarios. So some scenarios I'll cover in the bank module, and some scenarios I'll cover in the Paytm module, and some other basic examples and basic scenarios I'll cover in the sample module. Okay, I'm adding 3 cases here. So automatically Pega will configure these modules and classes in the application. So just you have to enter the case names and click on next option. So automatically Pega will configure cases in the backend. Now data objects. So here data objects will not define at this application setup level. So if you want to add data tables, if you want to import any data tables, or if you want to add any new data tables, so we can also define from the Designer Studio. Okay, so I don't want to import any data tables right now. So I don't want to add any new data tables at application setup level. I'll define later according to my requirement. Okay, so it's not mandatory. Data objects is not mandatory. So directly click on create this application. It will take few minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes it will take. So it will generate all the records in the backend, and once after creating this setup in the backend, now it will generate some operator IDs. As part of the application setup process, Pega will configure operator IDs for us. So these operator IDs are based on the organization name we have given. Okay, so what are the organization name we give, accordingly, so it will generate the operator IDs. Operator IDs are nothing but user IDs. Okay, so once the user IDs are generated, we can log out from this operator, means we can log out from this default user ID and we can log in with the new operator IDs. It will take some time. It will load so many things. It will load so many class layers. It will generate the cases in the application. It will generate rule sets in the application. It will generate some work group IDs. It will generate. Okay, so many things it will generate. So all those things, it's okay. When we log into the new application setup, we can see. Okay, so in this directly here we can only see operator ID names. If you want to see the total class setup and all the modules, if you want to see means, so once we log into the new application, then we can see. Okay, in the real time it is not done by the developers. So in the real time it is a task of business analyst or some lead system architect will do this thing. But in your, suppose if you want to configure a new application in your personal edition means, so you can do the same process, because without this setup we cannot work on any new application. So this setup is mandatory. So only thing is, if the setup is very easy, only thing is you will give the application name and organization name and the case types. If you enter, everything will take care by the Pega only, and automatically it will generate the application for you. So we have to log into the new application using the new operator ID here. So only thing is, remember what is the application name you have given and what is the organization name you have given, you have to remember. So like this, maximum we will have so many tools will be where, means all the wizards will be internal to the Pega only. So most of the time we will be giving the inputs in the wizards and automatically Pega will configure the things. Okay. So like this, whenever we work on integrations also, we will have wizards similarly. Okay, integration connector wizards, integration service wizards, resource wizards, email configuration wizards. So all these things are already available in the tool. So most of the time, so what are the inputs? So maximum we have to give the inputs accordingly, and automatically Pega only configure the things in the backend. So now it must generate these 3 IDs. Okay, so application is generated. So congratulations on creating your new clean application. As part of creation process, system generated the following operators. Operators are nothing but the new user IDs for your new application. So the new operator IDs are admin@myapp, manager@myapp, and user@myapplication. And these, for all these above user IDs, rules is default password. Okay, Now please log off and sign back in as admin@myapp to access this application and continue building your product. Now, so no need to work on this default ID now. So we have generated our own operate readies. We can log out from this current operate ready and log in using admin@myapp, and the default password is this time rules is default password. Okay, for the default operate ready, this install is the default password, but for this new operate readies, for all these three operate readies, Pega will configure a default operate ready default password as rules. If you want to modify, we can modify once we log into the new application. Okay, so now currently I'll log off from this. Now login using admin@myapp and rules is default password. See here, the operate readies will generate based on the what are the organization name you give. So accordingly it will generate this operate ready here. So if you give your own name, okay, it will generate an operate ready with your name, admin@, your name also you can give. So when you create a new application setup. So here you can see, so same panels will be there. So in the what are the things we have in the default operate ready, so same thing you will get in the new operate ready also. So but the thing is, inside this new operate ready, so you can see class configuration and cases configuration. Okay, it's still loading, wait for some time. Okay, welcome to your new Pega 7 application. So if you want to see, so description about the application, business objectives, still it is loading, give me a second. And what are the cases we configured? We have given 3 different names in the case types, so these 3 cases are configured. Okay, so all this information you can see here. Now coming to this explorers, so by default you can see cases explorer and you can see all the case names. See these cases, from these cases what is the configuration we have to do means, from the case explorer we are going to configure the process. See again here, process is nothing but how the business flow is conducted, means how the business flow will happen within this module. So all those flow will define inside the case. For example, if you take a bank case, so inside the bank case how the flow should happen, so means what in the starting page, then when you click on any form or any value in the form, then where it should go, okay, what is the next page. So all that flow, entire flow within this module will define inside the case. Okay, how to define the process and all, so you'll get in the next sessions, next 2 sessions you'll get this thing. So before that, okay, these are all the case names we configured in the application setup. So just if you want to see what are the things we'll have, if you open any case here, so inside this we have something called stages and process. Okay, inside the stages and process, so we need to configure what are the possible stages if you want to add. Okay, by default it will show 3 stages. If you want to add more stages we can add, or if you want to delete existing stages also we can delete, and under each stage we'll configure the process. Okay, so we have to give the name of the step and we'll configure the process. Okay, so this technically, so this theoretical part and practical sessions you'll get in next 2 or 3 sessions, you'll get these things. Okay, so before that we have to learn few more things. So cases contains all the modules, and from these cases we'll configure the process. Okay, in detail in the next sessions, next 2 sessions we'll get about this. Now coming to other explorers. Okay, so recent explorer means, so what are the things we opened recently, it will show that one. And data explorer, okay, currently we did not add any new data tables. Once we create any new data tables inside application, we can see the table names in the data explorer. Then application explorer is very important now here. See, automatically if in the application structure, in the application settings tab, we have seen one thing. So based on the application name and organization name, Pega will configure a class structure for us. Okay, now you can see, so you can see the class structure. So these leaf icons are there, right? So all the leaf icons are nothing but classes. So this is a parent class and these are all subclasses. Okay, how these subclasses are generated means, so according to the what are the case names we have given in the application setup, so the cases automatically with the same names Pega will configure classes also. Okay, and here in this main class is there, right? So it is stating, so actually if organization name is 5 letters, if organization name is 5 letters means, so 5 or more than 5 letters, it will truncate the name to 4 letters. So you can see here I have given the organization name as my app, right? So here it is truncating the total name to 4 letters here, and keen is the name of the application name, and work is a type of a class group. Okay, so here inside the application explorer, so these are all work classes. So work classes is nothing but inside these work classes only we will configure new rules in the application. So new rules means what? So what are the new things you want to define inside the application? So those are nothing but work class rules. Okay, and inside this work class, so this is the parent class we can say, or technically the name we used to call it as, so class group or work pool, we used to call it as class group or work pool. And this class group is common for the entire application, means inside this keen application, so this is our application name, you can see inside the keen application. Okay, if anybody asks what is your class group name is, this is our class group name, or anybody asks you what is your work pool name is, so this is our work pool name. Okay, and in the work pool, first name is nothing but organization name, the second name is nothing but application name, and third name is nothing but the type of class. So these classes are work classes, so that is, it is represented with work class. And under this class, so these are all subclasses. Bank is a subclass, Paytm is a subclass, and sample is a subclass. Okay, if you want to add more subclasses, so we can add more cases and classes in the application if you want. Okay, as part of the application setup, so based on the cases we have defined in the application setup, so automatically with the same names Pega will configure these 3 subclasses also. Okay, and coming to the other things, so again these classes contains so many different types will be there. Okay, so basically in Pega we have 2 different types of classes. Not only in Pega, it's just a concept from Java only, so it's a Java based concept only. So generally if anybody having any core Java knowledge, so there we have a classes called concrete class and abstract class. So generally what are concrete classes means, concrete classes are initializer classes, means if you want to create any new things in the application, if you want to add any new things in application, will configure inside concrete classes. And abstract classes are non-initializer classes, and this purpose is reusability purpose. So these are used for reusability purpose. So generally when we will use concrete classes and when we will work on abstract classes means, so inside the application, so all these classes are concrete classes. So this my app, keen-work is a concrete class, bank is a concrete class, Paytm is a concrete class, sample is a concrete class. Means inside Pega application, so generally basically total inside application, so we have three different types of class groups will be there. So those are, so basically your entire application is divided into 3 class groups: work class, is one type, data class is other type, and integration class. So these are three class groups we'll be having. So here what are the work classes means? So inside application explorer, here you can see all these are work classes. So this is a parent work class, and these are all work classes, and but comes under subclasses under the parent class. And we have other types of classes, that is data classes. So data classes are related to data tables. So whenever we configure any data table inside an application, we have to give a table name, right? So that table names are considered as data classes. And when we work on integration like connectors and services, so those classes are configured as integration classes. Okay, and generally work classes and data classes class groups comes under concrete. Say under this concrete, the class groups comes under work classes, and data classes comes under concrete classes. And these integration classes are there, right? Integration classes comes under abstract, because see generally integration classes purpose is reusability purpose. So once we import the data, we cannot modify them or we cannot generate any new things inside that. Okay, those are non-initialized classes, but which can be used for reusability purpose. Okay, so these classes, integration classes, will work on coming sessions. So those classes comes under abstract. Okay, and these work classes and data classes comes under concrete. Okay, so here you can see, so no need to define any class manually inside an application. Automatically Pega only will configure these classes. So just you need to have knowledge on that. Okay, so what is the type of class we need to know, so it is sufficient. Okay, generally we will not create any new classes or will not configure manually any classes. So automatically Pega only will configure this class setup in the backend. Suppose if you want to see the structure of this class in the backend, if you expand this sysadmin, if you expand this class option, you can see the class name. You just click on that option. If you open this class, it will open in a work panel. So inside the work panel, you can see here the type of class is concrete. Okay, so this myapp-kin-work is a concrete class, you can see. So already it is predefined, no need to change or no need to view, no need to modify this one, it's already pre-configured in the backend. And I want to show one more thing. See again, these concrete classes, under the concrete classes, again they are divided into three types. So these concrete classes again divided into three types. So one is a class group, belongs to class group. See, these all things you will not create in the real time, but we need to know. So under which type of classes we are working, so what are the types of classes and how many class groups are there, so we have to know in the application. And the third type is does not belongs to class group. See, coming to the first type, so under the concrete, so what is a class group means? So your parent work class is there, right? I told you. So what is this class? This class is called as class group or work pool. Okay, so you can see the type of class is concrete, and in the window you can see this class is a class group. Okay, means so your work class is called as, or your work pool is called as a class group. And we have other type of concrete, that is belongs to class group. Means here if you see, if you open bank class or Paytm class or recharge sample class, so all these classes are also concrete, but the type will change. So if you open this class myapp-kin-work-bank, so this is also concrete only, but the option is belongs to class group. Means so these are all subclasses, right? Bank belongs to this class group, Paytm belongs to this class group, and sample belongs to this class group. Means if you want to add any new class in this work class group, right? So all the classes comes under belongs to class group, because so is a class group will be only one class will be there. Under the is a class group, we can add any number of classes, and all the classes comes under belongs to class group, because for the entire application you need to know, for the entire application there will be only one class group will be there. Okay, for the entire application there will be only one class group will be there. We cannot add multiple class groups in the application. So here in our application our class group name is this one. Okay, and under this you can add any number of subclasses, means you can add any number of subclasses, and all those subclasses comes under belongs to class group. Okay, all the subclasses comes under belongs to class group. And apart from that we have other type of concrete class, that is the option comes under does not belongs to class group, and generally these classes are data classes. So data classes comes under does not belongs to class group, because work classes are separate classes and data classes are separate classes. So that's the reason. So this is a class group and belongs to class group comes under the same type. So both are work classes. So that's the reason. So both are comes under the work classes. But data classes are separate classes. So because we'll create a table name, and the table name is considered as a data class here. So those data classes are separate classes, and in the coming sessions, so any mapping we will do between the work excuse me. See, in the coming sessions, if you want to do the mapping, means if you want to insert the data, fetch the data, update the data, and if you want to load the data from the server, database server, so we'll be mapping both these classes. So these both classes will be different type, but the mapping can be done from a rule called activity rule. So that one we'll do in the coming sessions. So generally concrete contains three types: is a class group, belongs to class group. Okay, this one I will show you how the data classes are created and how these classes comes under does not belongs to class group. I will show after this topic. Okay, so like this. So concrete class contains three types: is a class group and belongs to class group. So is a class group and belongs to class group comes under work classes. The first two types comes under work classes, and the third type is there, right, does not belongs to class group. This third type comes under data classes. Okay, so third type comes under data classes. Okay, so now, and we have other type is there, right, abstract classes. So these integration classes comes under abstract class. So this one you will get in the coming sessions. So because right now, so in the starting sessions we'll be working on concrete classes only. So when we work on integrations, then we'll be using these abstract classes. Okay, so this one we'll get in coming sessions. So right now most of the time, most of the scenarios will be used in the work classes and data classes only. Okay, and one more thing I want to show you. So Pega contains something called inheritance. So that inheritance also generated in the backend only. So for all this I told you we have three types of class groups are there, like work classes, data classes and integration classes. So for all these work classes and data classes and integration classes, so there will be some super class will be there. So all these classes are derived from a super class. So not only this, any class in Pega, it is derived from a super class called @base class. So anybody ask you, so what is a super class in Pega? Means @base class is a super class. And if you want to see the structure of this class, means if you open any class, means if you right click on any class, so for example we have work class here, right, and right click on that class and click on inheritance. So from starting from the last class you can see from here the inheritance will start. So basically, so any class inheritance will start from this @base class only. Okay, not only this class, if you open any class in Pega, so the inheritance will start from @base class. Under this you can see, because so @base class is a super class for work class. So work classes are nothing but it will represent with work dash. So if you take integration class, int hyphen. If you take a data class, data hyphen. Okay, generally work classes and data classes and integration will start with hyphen. After the class name, hyphen will be there. Okay, so and these are all the other things derived automatically. These are derived in the backend. We did not define. So because we have given the layer right framework and implementation, automatically Pega will configure all these classes in the backend, and finally it will create a work pool for us. Okay, our work pool name is, or our class group name is myapp-key-work is our final work pool name. So this class is derived from all these classes in the backend. And if you open any subclass also, so 2 more classes will be added. So same configuration. So from the work class, this subclass will be derived. Okay, so your bank is derived. So bank class is derived from the work class, that is parent class. So that is your class group name. Okay, similarly, so these are all inheritance, and this type of inheritance is called as pattern inheritance. Okay, so there will be some inheritance types will be there. If any inheritance is defined by the system, it is called as pattern inheritance. Okay, and if any inheritance is defined by the user, it is called as direct inheritance. So that one I will show in the coming sessions how the inheritance is defined. Okay, this is defined by the system only, so we did not define manually here. So the inheritance is defined by the system itself. Okay, we cannot modify or we cannot change any class path here. Automatically system will define the inheritance in the backend. Okay, so like this, so till here generally in the real time also, when you log into the application, any application, so this till here the setup will be configured in the backend. Okay, some either business analyst or some lead system architect level people will configure this setup in the backend. Okay, in the real time developers will not configure all these things. It is a task of business analyst or lead system architect. Okay, so from here we'll start working on the application. So meanwhile I'll cover the data table creation also. So we have a third type of class, I told you, right? Under the concrete we have another type of class, that is does not belongs to class group. So this option how to generate a tables means, so when it is called as does not belongs to class group means, so whenever we configure a new data table, we have to give some table name, right? So this table names is considered as a, so table name in Pega is considered as a class name here. Okay, we can also call it as a class name in Pega. So these table name or class names are called as does not belongs to class groups. Okay, generally I'll show the from where we have to configure these new data tables. We'll see now. So if you go to, I told you all the widgets and tools are available in the Designer Studio menu. If you go to the menu here, we have a menu called data model. So under this go to data tables, again click on data tables. Okay, it will open one widget for us. One widget will open. Inside the widget we need to enter the data. Okay, so we have to click on add a new data table. So these things again we will do. So this time I want to show how the data classes are generated. I want to show you. So we'll get information. So in this we have to fill all this information. So first thing is class name. So class name is nothing but a table name here, and these class names, how the format of the class names will be means, see generally data tables comes under data classes. Okay, all the tables in the application comes under the class group called data class. So and here inside the application explorer, so this classes comes under work classes, right? So when you add a data table name here, so make sure you have to give the naming convention will be, so you have to first of all choose the parent path. So what is for the data classes, the name will be myapp-key-data is a common name for all the data classes, and after this class name we are going to enter the data table name, so which must be unique for every table name. So but till here for all the data tables the class name will be common, and after data enter hyphen and give the data table name. Okay, I'm giving a table name here, sample table, and in the description you can give anything. and all the data tables are derived from data dash. Okay, if you see in the previous inheritance, so this structure contains a parent class as work dash, right? Similarly, all the data tables are derived from a parent class called data dash. Okay, you can select from the drop down or manually also you can enter the class name, that is data dash is common for all the data tables. And we have some two options called data pages. So these data pages concept we will get in the coming sessions. So data pages main purpose is for loading the data and displaying in the UI. So that is, you will get a concept in the next sessions. And for every data table, so no need to enable the data pages, but we have to enable option as create dedicated database table option is there, right? We have to enable this option for every data table, because if you enable this option, this table will be physically stored in the PGSQL database. Okay, so these tables will be physically stored in the, okay, you cannot see the structure right now. I cannot log into the database here because the database is integrated in the server itself. Application server, we have the database loaded. So physically we cannot log into the database here. So generally, whenever we generate a new data table inside the application, so we have to enable this option. So it will help you to, in the future, if you enable this option, it will help you to generate the data reports, or if you want to do sorting in the application, so this option is mandatory. So make it as a practice. Whenever we generate a new data table inside application, so this option is mandatory. And then we have an option to enter the name of the properties. Okay, generally in the data table we will enter the column names. For example, if you take an employee table, so general example, so employee ID, employee name, okay, employee company name, so salary and all we will inform. So here, so we can enter our own fields, but make sure in this data table at least one property we have to take as a primary key. Okay, we have to select one property, any property name, so at least one property must be primary key. Without primary key we cannot configure a data table. So here already by default it will take the first property as a primary key, because you can see here a check mark is there, right? Checkbox is enabled. So by default will take first property as a primary key. Okay, accordingly, so give the first property as a unique property. So here I am giving SSN ID. So label is nothing but a, in the column how you want to display your property, we can give in the label. So generally name and label will be same only. If you want to change the data type, we can change the data type of property, and mode will be single value for all these properties. So I'll tell you in the next level when I create the work class properties, I will discuss about the modes. Okay, there will be different modes will be there: single value, value list, page group. Okay, so about the modes you'll get in the next topics. And validation class at table level will not define any validations, and apart from that we'll have exponential size and maximum size, means nothing but minimum length and the maximum length. Okay, so these are all the options. And if you want to add a new property, click on insert row. You can give the property names. You can choose the data type. Okay, so just once we enter the property names or column names, so compulsory make sure one property must be primary key property. Okay, so at least one property we have to set as a primary key. Without primary key we cannot generate this data table. And I told you, see, when we configure application, Pega will configure something called rule set right set, right? So here key is the rule set name. So what are the application name we give? So with the same name Pega will configure a rule set here, and inside this application, inside this myapp-keen-work or any inside this entire application, whatever we are creating, any new things we are creating, so all these things are saved inside the keen class. Okay, not keen class, inside the keen rule set all the data will be saved. Okay, any new thing you are adding inside this application will be saved inside the keying rule set only. Okay, so now click on generate. Okay, it will generate the table now. And automatically what are the class name we have given, right, it will configure a class also in the backend. So class name here is nothing but a table name only. Here class name is nothing but your data table name. So whenever you want to use this data table inside the application, we will use this entire name, myapp-keen data-sample table 1 we will use. And these classes are called as does not belongs to class group. So automatically, so Pega only will take that one, the class group and all. Okay, still it is generating the table. Okay, so table is generated. Just click on close. So your table is saved under the data tables category, and this is the class name configured. Class name is nothing but table name here. So just if you click on this class, you can see the structure of the class in the backend. The type of class is concrete only. You can see the option here as does not belongs to class group. Okay, means all the data classes comes under does not belongs to class group. Okay, we have covered the three types. Okay, we have covered three types of classes now. So the first type is what is the user class group. So in here in this application, this myapp-keen-work class is a class group. And what are belongs to class group here? So belongs to class group means bank class, Paytm class and sample class comes under belongs to class group. And the third type is does not belongs to class group, means so all the data tables inside application comes under does not belongs to class group. Means here you can see, so what are the table name you have given, right? So these classes comes under does not belongs to class group, means data classes are separate classes and work classes are separate classes. So in the same application, so work class comes under work classes and data classes are separate classes. Okay, so from tomorrow, so we'll see how to configure the rules inside the work classes. Means so we have different categories here. Okay, how to configure the rules inside these categories. So day by day we'll be covering all the rules inside the application. Okay, so till here, so any questions, let me know. Yes, tell me. Okay, others mute the microphone. Yes, tell me. Okay, yeah, three structures will be there. Yes. So we can develop and we can develop a new application and we can reuse the same application in other applications. We will never use that one. So any scenario, just options are given. We'll have so many options will be there, but we'll never use in the real times. So if you take the framework only, means so just what are the thing you are creating, right? So just it will be saved as a framework, that's it. So only you are creating your application as a framework, so it cannot be reused or anything. Means it can be reused, but so when it can be means we cannot directly do the implementations. So we cannot directly do the changes in this application. So it will only be saved as a framework class, and which can be directly reused in the other applications. But implementation means we can do modifications, we can do changes, but it will not be saved as a framework. So direct only it will be saved as an application, that's it. we cannot reuse in other applications. Implementation only means. So maximum compulsory every application will be generated inside framework and implementation only. Means we cannot reuse the same application again and again. See, generally framework, if you take implementation in framework means, so we are generating a new setup, means new application we are creating. That new application we can save as a one framework, so directly we can use the framework in other applications. Means we can modify that one. Means framework means what? So already structure is there. If you want to do any changes to that, we can do the changes to that application. Okay, so we are generating a new application and we are building a framework, and we can be reused and modified in other applications. But so what happens in framework? So only, so any we can, so when we will go the framework, so when you are whenever we are reusing any other applications, then you will select only framework. Means we cannot develop a new application in this framework. New application we cannot develop here. You got it right. So only we can import any existing framework and we can modify that one. Means here we are not developing, whenever we are developing a new application, we cannot use a framework only option. Okay, suppose only if you want to develop a new application, but if you don't want to save it as a framework, then select implementation only. You want to develop a new application but don't want to save it as a framework, then you will select only option as implementation only you will select. So framework means we are not developing a new application, but we are importing some existing framework and doing modifications to that one. So once again I will tell you, so there will be some confusion. Suppose you are developing a new application here, so but you don't want to create a framework, means so only application you are developing, okay, but we cannot reuse that application in other applications. So then implementation only. And you are not developing a new application, some existing application you are taking and you want to modify that one, then you will take framework only. Yeah, no, just you can do changes. So framework only means what? We are not taking any new application right here, so we are taking an existing application. That is the purpose of framework only. So framework only means we can import, we can reuse that application. What is the purpose of framework only? We can reuse that application, but not developing a new one. We are reusing that application. Okay, and in implementation and framework only, what happens? We are developing a new one and which will be saved as a new framework also. Okay, both the things will happen in the framework and implementation only, the third option, which is a default one, and maximum all the applications will prefer, means new applications will prefer this option, that is framework and implementation only will prefer. So whenever you are developing a new applications, we cannot select only implementation only, so we will go with framework and implementation only we will go. You can also go with implementation only also, but generally recommended structure is framework and implementation is recommended. We can edit. Reuse means what? So reusing means what? So we can directly import the application and we can modify also. So reusing means what? So we can also modify that application also. Yeah, integration is a separate thing. So there the structure will be different. Integrations is different again. So this structure is, application structure is different and integrations are different. Integrations also will import, but we cannot directly modify. Okay, integration abstract classes concept is separate and this framework structure is separate. Okay, don't compare these two things. So the integration concept is totally separate and this framework is totally separate. So if there is, see you will never go with implementation only. What, that's what I'm saying. Only new application only you'll go with implementation only. But generally according to Pega standards, what compulsory they have to, every application must be saved as a new framework. So they will never use it. According to my knowledge, they will never use the only implementation only, they will never use, because so compulsory according to the Pega rules and Pega standards, every application must be saved as a framework also. Okay, any new application they are building in Pega systems, every application must be saved as a new framework also. So compulsory, the recommended option which is suggested by Pega is this option, framework and implementation. Okay, don't worry too much about this, sir. So we will not, these things will be not used by the developers actually. The structure and all will be configured by a separate team. So but just for your information only I'm saying. So generally you will not involve in these layers and all. Okay, there will be some business analyst level teams will be there, they will involve in this thing. So, but generally, so for your information, so implementation only means so new applications only, but the thing is according to the Pega standards and Pega guidelines, so compulsory every application must be developed inside a framework and implementation only. So we can also develop, for example, in the personal edition, if you want to, when you develop a new application, you can select this option also. But in the real time, it will not happen. In the real time means compulsory they'll choose the framework and implementation only they'll select. Okay, so don't, okay, this next. Work pool, class group, class structure, all the names are same only. So here what is a work pool? Anybody ask you what is a class structure or what is a work pool or what is a class group in Pega means? So this is a work pool or class group or class structure. So what is the, in this, what are the first part is nothing but organization name, second part is nothing but the name of the application, and the third part is nothing but the type of class group. Okay, see, in different places you'll get different names. So in some places you'll get a name as work pool, some places class group, and sometimes I will call it as a class structure. So all the things are same only. Okay, there will not be separate thing. If you call work pool or class group or class structure, so it is same as this one. That is, so in your application we will be having only one work pool or one class group or one class structure will be there. So this is the thing. So this is my-key-work is the work pool or class group or class structure name. No confusion in this, right? Okay, then. Okay, then. Okay, rule set I'll tell you tomorrow. You'll get a, when I start the rules creation, right? Tomorrow I'll show you in detail. So when I open the rule, you can understand that one. Now you cannot understand it. So just, okay, in simple word, rule set is nothing but a workspace. Okay, so generally, so this workspace will be allocated by Pega only when we build the application setup. So inside that all the things will be saved. So whether the you are creating a data tables or work class rules or data integration class rules, anything you are creating in the application, everything will be saved inside this workspace. That is nothing but a rule set. So in detail about this you'll get in tomorrow's session, so where you can see the rule set. So how the rule set will be, means inside which class you will get this rule set, again what are the instances we have inside the rule set, you'll get in tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay, you can give your own name. Yes, application name and organization name generally it depends upon the requirement. You can give any, names is not a matter. So organization and application name you can give anything. So business analyst will decide that one. So what to give as organization name and what to give as a application name. So see, no, when class structure is created, so how class structure is created generally, so based on the organization name only, right? Okay, suppose if you give the organization name as Keen means, so Keen hyphen myapp hyphen work will be the class structure name. Okay, you got, suppose instead of in the application name if I give myapp, and if the organization name if I give Keen means, so then the class structure name will be Keen hyphen okay, it depends upon the company to company it will change. So generally we can give, so suppose you can give the organization name as Keen, you can give an application name, you can give anything like a domain name you can give. Okay, 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 yes, but generally in the personal edition we cannot create multiple organizations with the same name. Okay, it will take different name. So generally in the real time also, so that's what, so then the problem will happen again. So we cannot give the same organization, we cannot create multiple operator IDs, right? So that's what, they will give the application name as Keen and organization name they will give a different name. See generally, so within the same organization only we can generate one application only, right? So if you want, we can give a different application name accordingly. Okay, so organization name will give the same. So for the one application, so organization name will be same. So for the other application, the organization name will be different, right? No. User ID is C. So for single application, so user IDs will be common. So generally if you take one application, so user IDs will be admin at that, for example keen.com or myapp.com. And if you want to develop another application, they will give a different organization and different application names, right? See, if you want to suppose, if you want to start other setup or other project, so then what you will do, so you will give a different application name and different organization name. Okay, there is no need to create two applications, right? In the same application only they can add modules. So they will define the cases. So more cases they can configure. So there is no need to set up another applications for that. If application is same, we can configure any number of modules in the application. So that is possible, right? There is no necessity to create a new application again. So within the same application only we can configure the cases. Why they will go for new application? Application will be, see, if it is a different totally entire application, they will go for a new application. See, if a company will have multiple applications or single application they will work. Suppose if Accenture is there, Accenture will be working on different applications. So they will not use the same operator ID for all applications, right? So every application will have a new operator ID and new way of IDs, operator IDs will be there for every user. Again, for every user, new operator IDs will be there. Okay. Yeah. Application, under the same application only they will develop everything. So they will divide the application into different modules, and inside each module some set of developers will be working. So for that, no need to configure a new application right every time. So inside the same application only they can configure any number of classes. Okay, means so they can configure any number of cases here within the same application. Again, for that no need to add a new application, right? If it is the same application and related to the same application, we can configure the cases. More cases we can configure, and accordingly it will configure the classes here. And then everything they'll design in the same class group. Again, no need to create a new application and new class group for that. So everything we can configure into the same class group here. Okay. 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 No, in the existing application only. No, why new application every time? So existing application only will define, right? See here, see, we will, which one? See, generally, see, never get a requirement like this in maximum. So before starting any project, so 3 to 4 months or 3 to 5 months, so they will gather the requirements and they will have an entire documentation. So accordingly they will follow and they will configure the setup in the application setup. Okay, you will generally, I'm saying 100%. So you will not get any requirement like, so very rare cases will get. If you want to add any modules or anything later, so we can add manually also. So that is not an issue. So we can manually add modules, means cases here. Okay, so automatically when we configure a case, so classes will configure automatically. Okay, so this thing I'll tell you in tomorrow's session. Here I'm getting late today. Okay, regarding this I'll discuss tomorrow. So any other questions? See, just click on that link, it will open the drive, Google Drive will open. Just click on download option, that's it. See, you will get a mail here. So when you get a mail, so just click on that link. So I'll show it 1 second. I will share after 3 or 4 hours. I need to reach the office and I will share. I already shared yesterday. Just check your mail. Once check your mail. So to your email ID. See, you'll get a mail here. So in this mail you have to just click on download option. So open this file, it will navigate to the Google Drive. So it will navigate to this page. So here click on download option. So automatically it will download the file in a zip drive. Okay, so just this directly click on download. The software will get download automatically. So download anyway. Okay, so directly from the mail, open the drive, click on download option, click on download anyway. Okay, try this. Yes, tell me. Metal today I will share. So total means I didn't get it. So you want to develop new applications. So mostly, so configure develop new applications or do the support applications, integrate the applications, and support applications also will be there. Some maintenance projects will be there. So main thing is within the tool, so developing or customizing the applications. Okay, using this Pega PRPC, we can develop new applications or customize the applications. So for business purpose. Okay, that one I'll take tomorrow. I'm getting late actually. So anything, drop a mail, okay? Meanwhile, because already I'm getting late today. Okay. Okay, fine. So tomorrow I'll take it. The starting of the session, I'll take the questions if you have any. Okay. Thank you.